Hi, everybody. It's Thursday, it's chapter day, and I'm here today with VLynn Hawkins, and this is our member spotlight for this week. So, VLynn, for those of you who may not know you yet, tell us who you are, what you do, where you're located, all those kinds of things.
Well, first of all, Susan, thank you. I am so excited to be a part of the Atlanta chapter. And with you as our managing director, 2026 is going to be a fabulous year. And part of that is going to be because of how members are able to show up and be visible and increase their impact. And that's what I'm all about, visibility and impact. My company is Vegan Visibility Productions. We're a full service digital marketing firm. We do everything from social media marketing to events, online event management, and video, audio, podcast guesting, podcast hosting. We do the full gamut for our clients of plant-based and vegan entrepreneurs who are in the conversation of using lifestyle and food as medicine. And I'm so excited to work with that demographic because they have a small voice right
Mm,
now.
I can see that.
And there are too many people who are physically hurting, emotionally hurting, that these practitioners are so ready and able to assist with. And most of my clients are in the global sphere. So they are out, many inside, but most outside of the Atlanta metro area and all various cities and states throughout the US. And I typically focus on three things for my businesses or my business owners, and that's strategic development,
Mhm.
it's visibility online, and guiding them to utilize that as a backstop to whatever it is that they may want to do in their local community. So it's the marrying of the locally global strategy. And then the third thing is how do we get them to make a bigger impact? And that's through collaborative events, virtual summits, and book events
Mm.
and things of that nature. So I stay pretty busy, but I love it because my latest venture has been in the space of AI. I'll
Mm.
get into that later.
I love that. All right. So, what makes your approach specifically different from others in your space? So, for example, we've in eWomenNetwork, we have lots of folks who do full service marketing work for their clients, right? What makes you unique other than the vegan element?
It's the business growth aspect. I'm a certified accelerated business development coach and consultant. And so I coach my clients as far as strategic methods of getting more visibility. And then I actually do the work for some clients to help them in that respect. And that's a little bit different. If you're a coach, and that's what you do. If you're a consultant, you're in there and you're doing the things. And I marry the two because a lot of my clients really want to have the visibility, but if they're so busy in their practice, they don't have the bandwidth to garner the visibility because it does take a lot of effort. Then I come in and I can assist in that space.
Mm.
A lot of my clients want to know, how do I do this? What does it look like if I'm posting on LinkedIn and this happens? How do I leverage that
Mm.
with something else that I'm doing? And so that I think is what gives me the edge.
I love it. All right. So, who is your ideal client right now?
Right now, it is any entrepreneur, particularly, I think I work best with women entrepreneurs. And that's because it's about stories. I love hearing some of my client stories. I've got a couple of male clients as well, but um, I think that the shared and sharing of stories is what really allows us to collaborate. I do more what I consider collaborating with my clients. How can I help you do this? How can I help you do that? And that's where we actually do more because we can identify what it is that they can do easily and what it is that they need help doing that I can do easily for them. And I'm all about optimization and leverage. And, I get into SEO. I run ads for some of my clients on Facebook. I've gotten into Google Ads for nonprofits, which has really been an interesting space. But I'm also a writer and a crowdfunding specialist. So I bring all of that into the visibility strategic aspect of visibility for my clients.
I love that. Okay. So, what's that situation or the signal? So, the referral language, if you will, that tells somebody else, I should introduce this person to VLynn.
Accelerated business growth. And the second thing is if you're in the conversation of using lifestyle and food as medicine, you're my people.
Okay. So, business growth and or food as
The
medicine, either one.
Yep,
Perfect.
lifestyle and food as medicine.
Okay. So let's think about recent client work that you've done. One of the things that I like to do in these spotlights is to highlight a transformation or a result that you got for a client. What can you tell us about a recent project that you worked on where the client really made huge gains by working with you?
One of my clients is an author. And I can't answer this without speaking to two that had some major transformation occur. One is an author who basically decided after a couple of years of the book being out and promoting the book, he's going to colleges and universities to share his story to medical students to really introduce them to a different paradigm of practicing medicine. And with that, he's turned his book into a movie script. And we are now looking for producers who want to partner with us because the story is so impactful that it's one that everyone should hear to basically ask themselves the question, what could I do better as it relates to my own health? Because this guy, physician, went through open heart surgery, and if you can only imagine a doctor who is really practicing medicine, thinking they're healing people, and then they find themselves being the patient
Mm-hmm.
and under the knife. It really is a profound story. And to have it turned into a movie script, I helped with writing the script.
Wow.
I created the pitch deck. So now we're actually going out to producers and organizations, foundations for funding. And I'll be part of the production team when we start filming and stuff. This is just so exciting, right?
VLynn is going to create the next Forks Over Knives or the next Dean Ornish person out there, right? I'm really familiar with this space because I've lived in a food. I have a degree in nutrition that a lot of people don't know about, and so I've kind of lived in this food as medicine space for most of my adult life, and so this is exciting.
You are absolutely
Oh
right.
my
So, if
goodness.
anyone in our group knows anyone, please, that would be a great connection for me right now because of that particular project.
Okay.
And the other is regarding children
Mhm.
and what they're serving children in school, milk and for breakfast and lunch. Some kids, those are the only meals that they get in a day, and what they're feeding our children is killing them.
Mhm.
And I like to invite people to watch the documentary, They're Trying to Kill Us. It's a really poignant story about how the food, dairy, and medicine industry is working to kill us.
Yeah.
First, they get us. Then we're on this treadmill and in the revolving door of hospitals and medications. And then it turns out we're dead, but our kids are on the same path. And
Mhm.
so what it does is continue to generate revenue for them
Yeah.
and illness and heartache and hardship for the average people. If we think we're in a political thing right now, the medical thing is with food is just as bad, maybe worse. The
Yeah.
new food chart that came out that put meat at the top of the chart, it's like, what happened?
Well,
It's like,
so I mean, we've been on the plate view since what, 2012 or 2011, something like that. And the plate
mm,
view, for those of you who aren't familiar with this, there's a plate as the, and then there's dividing lines of how much you should eat of each of the different four major food groups at any one given time. And so this new inverted pyramid thing sort of turns the whole thing on its ear. There's a great video by Alton Brown on Facebook. He recorded and posted to Facebook that I watched about 10 days ago now, I guess, that addresses this very issue. And then there's the entire series that Jamie Oliver did about overhauling school lunches and school breakfasts and all those kinds of things and the challenges that he ran up against, and not political challenges, but kids not wanting to eat stuff that didn't come in a colorful box, right? So
because
it's the
that's
marketing
all
piece
they
of it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm So this organization that I work with is actually one that educates children and adults, parents, caregivers, family members, because what children aren't exposed to, it's amazing. A kid 10 years old never had a blueberry. Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Um, And so their effort is about getting more plant-based meals in schools. The state of Illinois actually has already passed a law that every school in the state must offer plant-based food options. And so parents and kids can say, I want my kid to have it. So some schools have said, we'll do meatless Monday or meatless Taco Tuesday or something like
Yeah.
that. There's one, almost two charter schools in the state that has gone totally to a plant-based school menu.
Wow.
And so, if we can get more states to look at making those offerings, there's a bill on the House right now that is looking to introduce food, plant-based foods in schools and let it be the schools that um, offer the options
Mhm.
versus something needing to be done on a state mandated basis,
Yeah.
which would be awesome.
Yeah. So
But
not only are you helping your clients, you're also serving as an advocate for this movement that you believe in firmly and wholly.
yes,
I love that.
yes.
I love that. All right. So we're going to switch gears a second. What originally drew you to eWomen Network?
Interesting. Gosh, I guess it was 15 years ago or so, around 2010, I found out about, yeah, it's 15 years ago, almost
Wow.
16 years
Wow.
ago. Found out about eWomen Network, but I was living in the Bay Area and there were some chapter challenges. And so I never made it to a meeting before the chapter actually was gone.
Mm.
And then, as life would have it, I'm back in Atlanta. And so because of how I got back in Atlanta, once I decided it's time for me to get out and start finding my people again. And I was like, spirit just dropped in my heart, eWomen Network. I went online and I had put in a request for somebody to contact me about information, say like in January. And it was November, and Amy contacted me. And we had the best conversation. And from that, I was at the January meeting. And before that, in December, I joined. My first meeting was January. I was on the leadership team in February, and the rest is history.
That's
I just,
yeah.
yeah. So I knew Sandra, I knew about Sandra. I think I had been to an open event, but I just things didn't work out for me to be able to find something consistent in the time frame that I was looking to
Yeah,
be able to join when I was in California. I'd have been a member a long time ago.
I hear you. And for those of you who are new to the group, Amy Matthews is our former executive managing director. She stepped down about, well, a little over a year, about a year and a half ago now. She told us she was going to step down as that role. And so she's a very involved member still. She's part of the platinum membership level, and you'll meet her when you're at an event for sure. So thinking about eWomenNetwork over the course of the time you've been involved, how has eWomenNetwork supported your business, yourself, your business growth, those kinds of things?
eWomen Network has served me by being a lifeline, being able to network with like-minded women CEOs, to be a part of Sandra's influence, her sphere of influence. And I am one who avidly says that Sandra is one of my business coaches.
Mhm.
And with that, I think I've also had an opportunity to share with others the fact that, you may already have a coach, but you need a coach who can focus on helping you to grow your business, not just do your business. Because I've been there. I've had coaches who said, do this, to grow and do that to grow. And I do some of that too. But the whole CEO mindset I had, but I never had been coached by someone who said, you're going to grow your CEO mindset. And Sandra does that. She does an excellent job at that. She has helped me to, because of the way that she does it and the program is set up, I am there monthly to get my dose of Coach Sandra because it does help me to keep my mind on what makes the cash register ring and what moves the business forward and the new trends of business
Mhm.
that we need to be looking at if we're wanting to grow $1 million business or multi-thousand dollar business.
Yeah,
And I think that that is what has really kept me and fueled me, inspired me, motivated me. I am my biggest motivation.
mhm.
But, we need that lift as you climb.
Yeah,
I talked about that before I knew that that was part of the eWomen Network values. That was part of who I was. So coming into the group and seeing the connection of shared values was extremely important to me.
I love that. What would you say to someone who was on the fence about joining eWomenNetwork?
If you're on the fence, you're going to stay on the fence. If decide, don't do it and be okay with it, or take the plunge. Because if you take the plunge, you will benefit. You will benefit by the relationships that you establish and grow. And I have to tell you, I've done collaborations with some other eWomen Network members, attending conference and meeting members from all over the country. It's just been something that I have encouraged my clients. If you're not a part of your particular association and involved, and be a part of something like eWomen Network. Be a part of eWomen Network. Don't just become a member, become an involved member.
Yeah, in
Show
fact,
up.
I said that to somebody. I was talking with somebody earlier today about that in a separate conversation. And I said, any membership organization, you get out of it what you put into it. You have to be there. You have to show up. You have to really lean into what's happening around you in the organization. And, we have our Monday calls with Sandra, and now Brianna is stepping into some of those as well. Her teachings are great too.
Mm-hmm.
We have our accelerated networking events for the Atlanta chapter, typically the first Thursday of each month. We have our Wisdom Circle events, also known as strategic business introductions, typically the third Thursday of the month. Right now, those are mostly online. We're adding some in-person ones for the Atlanta chapter, which I'm really excited about. I'm working with some folks to make sure we have adequate spaces for that. And you're right about the relationships. And when we participate in all these different things, and some of these ladies, I knew nobody in the room when I walked in the door the very first time. Nobody. And I count a number of these ladies among my handful of close friends now.
Yes, me too. Me too.
And I know that
I
I could, if I have a business challenge or a personal challenge, I know that I could call anybody on the list and say, I need your advice. I need your help. And they would do it. Any single one of them.
I agree. And I am one of those,
Yeah, I know.
you know.
Yeah. So speaking of that, what is one way that this eWomenNetwork community, either our chapter here in Atlanta or the community at large, can support you right now?
Very interesting question. And I have to say that I feel like I am being supported in every way possible because of the structure of eWomenNetwork. And I say that because if I were to say I wanted anything, it would be more online networking.
Mm,
So I'm like, more online networking means that there is already online networking, and it happens the fourth Monday of every month. And it is with the entire eWomen Network group. And hundreds of women come to those networking events, and
yeah.
we get into breakout rooms, we meet others. That's where I've gotten probably 50% of the referrals that I've had for podcast guests for my podcast. My podcast is the Veganpreneur Revolution podcast, and I interview those who are those practitioners, those business owners, whether they own a restaurant or a healing salon or whatever they do in the plant-based vegan space. I interview them to find out who they are, what they do, what kind of impact they're making, because it's all about visibility. You have to have the visibility so that you can make the bigger impact. They go hand in hand, and the conversation is so needed. I feel like I'm really filling a great, uh, I wouldn't call it a void, but I would call it, um, it's not full.
Yeah.
So a need.
Yeah.
It's a great need.
I love that. And so what you're talking about there for the Monday calls is the community connection call that happens usually the fourth or last Monday of the month with the CEO plus or higher level membership, which is great. I love those conversations too. I met somebody a couple months ago who would be a great collaborative partner for somebody else in the Atlanta chapter. I made the connection and they've chatted, and that's how it works, right? That's the
Yeah.
whole idea behind that community connection. And it could be somebody now in London, or it could be somebody in
Yeah.
Mexico, it could be somebody in Canada. We have several chapters in Canada now. Could be
Or
somebody.
Baltimore, my hometown, a
I
new
know,
chapter
brand
in
new
Baltimore.
chapter in Ava, our new managing director in Baltimore, has just gotten started, and she's going to take off like gangbusters, I am sure. So, and she's got a great collaborative partner up there with Dr. Cheryl as well, who's in Annapolis.
Yeah.
So they can run parallel as managing directors with the new chapters up there. Dr. Cheryl's taking over a chapter, but
Uh,
nevertheless, they can run in parallel and
Dr.
do it
Wood.
together. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. That was announced this morning. So timely and really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So where can people connect with you after watching this video?
I'd love for you to connect with me at veganvisibilityproductions.com. And if you want to email me, it's VLynn at veganvisibilityproductions.com. Again, that's veganvisibilityproductions.com. That's who we are, what we're about, and you'll find a lot of information about what we do as well as about me. And I do speaking engagements about business growth, business development. I've got a formula that I use that has really served me well. It's a flow formula, and I've been using it specifically. You know how
Hmm.
business evolves,
Yeah.
and you find the new things that actually work for you. And I'm a certified flow consultant. So I bring that into my business development work, and the acronym flow really flows for me and my clients.
I love that. Okay. So we'll make sure to tag that in a comment below the post once it goes live.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for being here with us today. I'm looking forward to seeing you at our next in-person event, which happens to be the day that this video goes live on the Facebook page. So Thursday, February 5th. And we'll catch up again then. So thanks again for being here. And everybody will have another guest in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everybody. See you soon. Come to one of our meetings.